And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And the Texans have broken the tie. And, man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Myles Garrett in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. From the gun, here's Watson. Dancing to his left. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll get him down here at the 23. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain.
Richmond.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Forced out to his left. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will be taken at the 13. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. They'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
Back to throw here. Being chased out left. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Watson now to throw. Steps away to his left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. E.J. Gaines the one that time to knock it away.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Dancing to his left. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The Chargers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson rolling to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Drew Kaiser now as he's on to punt for L.A. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up. And we still...
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Texans say they have it. They do. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that, and he stopped immediately there. It's Melvin Ingram on the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Set! Green, 39! Green!
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Hard throw, incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, you not got too many attempts shorter than that one. And I don't think this was blocked. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
They'll try and get the ground game going. Here's Gordon. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On second down, here's Watson. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Myles Garrett in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Forced out to his left. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And he'll take it just outside the 40. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They're going to look to throw. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there, a 22.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Let's go.
He'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Melvin Ingram in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll set up a throw. Buying time to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. The Charger offense making their way back out there. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a first down throw, Watson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Being chased out left. And that's caught at the 25. It's a big one there for the Chargers. And even 50 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Incomplete.
So they look like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Right there. All day, baby.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Faking the give. Now Watson. Flush to his right. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Now it's Watson. And that will be incomplete as well. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what
Put
you
your
do
foot on
best.
the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now he'll throw deep left. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. A big-time play there for the Texans. 46 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Steps away. Now the ball comes loose. And this is recovered by the Chargers.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether it's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. but it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Oh,
the ball is out. Watson lost it. But a Chargers player was able to fall on it, and they'll keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Third and long. It's Watson. Dancing to his left. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now out comes Houston. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Eluding the pressure. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Hurry up, here we go.
Back to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
They'll set up to throw. Underneath for Miller. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he's got room. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. They'll look to throw here on first down. Oh, no, he lost the football. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Leopard! Leopard! Here we go now. Blue landed.
Here's a give to Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game, his 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Going up top. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Watson on first down. Flushed out right. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player, not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Watson now on 3rd down. And this is caught at the 8. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Come back, come back. Two jet.
Again, it's Watson. Rolling to his left. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer, and likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here.
We got three.
To the air yet again, Watson. Being chased out left. He may try and run for this, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Hauschka's kick is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And now out comes Houston. The field goal we just saw has this now at a 1-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot a bit.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball. But here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that. And that means opening things up again, being a little more free than what they're trying to get done on offense.
And a catch made by Hopkins. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 11.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Set. Blue landing.
They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Leopard.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And he's got this down to the 35. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A 1st down carry now for Miller. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Dumps it complete to Mellon, and he gets it down to the 32. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll bring up a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
Hurry up, here we go.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up fourth down. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Gone! Over!
Back to the air on 2nd down. Frank. And out across midfield down to the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Gone!
To throw again. Frank. This is Gordon on the dump off. 7 yards on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
From the gun on 3rd down. Frank. Open man, it's Allen. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. And a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and sneak it here. And no signal, but I don't think he got the surge behind center. No, he's going to be kept out of the end zone. Now the Chargers hustling, trying to... And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. It's their quarterback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Chargers are able to make this a close game again. They do tack on the extra point as well. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. The punter Kaiser now out to kick it away. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right? He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They give him a gain of 38. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Lucky 56. All right, here we go. Blue, 90.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And his throw here's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now. Blue, 90. Blue, 90.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Flush to his right. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
He'll drop to throw. It's caught. Nelson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 14 there, and that should be enough to get him home free.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Well, partner, even though my phone alarm failed me this morning and I missed our AM workout, we still made it through this thing together, didn't we?
Well, you always know I need extra workouts just to keep up with you, so it doesn't matter. But thanks for sharing a booth, and thanks for being our quarterback.
Yeah, you're the quarterback. Always a pleasure, my friend. So for Houston, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head home next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Southern California.